I'm Mary Treat Eaton, and I teach 6th grade social studies at Redwater ISD in Redwater, Texas. And I've had a wonderful opportunity the past 3 years to be a teacher ranger teacher.
Hi, I'm Mark Nelson, and I have been teaching art in the city of Chicago for the last 18 years at Stone Scholastic Academy.
Hi, my name is Teresa Menser, and I'm a teacher at Schuyler Central High School in Schuyler, Nebraska.
About 3 years ago, I had volunteered at a couple of places out in New Mexico, and I wanted to find somewhere that I could go and volunteer. National parks has always been something that I've enjoyed doing because, you're outdoors, you're seeing the treasures that those parks have to offer. So I got online and to look to see what jobs might be available, and came across the Teacher Ranger Teacher program, which I had never heard of. And I was like, wow, that sounds like something I'd really be interested in doing.
Working as a teacher, I needed to get away for the summer, and I had been going overseas for the previous summers to the Republic of Panama, where I was doing independent work as an artist. And I decided that, having been raised overseas as a military dependent, that I really needed to get back into my own country. And so I went to the internet, and I went on a browser, a search engine, and I typed in summer opportunities for teachers. And the first thing that came up on the list was TRT program.
I decided to become a TRT when I went to Estes Park in Colorado. I was there on a conference through the Department of Education called Teacher to Teacher Conference. And during that time we went on a tour of the tundra at Estes Park, and just was visiting with the gal who was leading our bus tour up to the tundra. She was just an excellent tour guide, and I was visiting with her about how she got into something like that, and she told me, well, that she was a TRT. She was a Teacher Ranger Teacher for the National Park Service. Pretty
quickly I got word back from Voyageurs National Park, and after talking with them, I was just really excited to hear it was a water park, and by water I mean not a lot of boating and camping and fishing and those kinds of things. It's not a lot of land, but it was a place I had never been, and that was what I was really excited about, because I wanted to try a new park somewhere I had not been before, to see what other parts of the country had to offer, and so I was really excited to hear from Voyageurs, and that's what worked out for me.
I actually applied to Alaska thinking I wanted a real exciting adventure, and we got very, very close, but it turned out that I was contacted from the Petrified Forest in Arizona, and that intrigued me.
It just seemed like a perfect mix, or match, I guess maybe I'd say, a perfect match for who I was, my interest in national parks, and just a lifelong learner, educator. It just seemed like a melding of all the things that I'm interested in. And here I am at the Missouri National Recreational River.
The interesting thing about being a TRT, that the individual parks are so diverse that the jobs that they want you to do are also just as diverse. The other parks that I've been to, for example, I would do a boat tour. I worked in the Visitor Center. I rode, which means you go around to the different places and boat docks and things to just talk and mingle with the visitors, answer any questions that they may have.
Working at the Missouri National Recreational River has been both rich and rewarding, resourceful. It's something that's definitely inspired me as a teacher, and it appeals to, I think, what national parks appeal to in everybody, our sense of wonder.
So I ended up at the Petrified Forest, and because of my skills as a videographer, my workload was broken up between videotaping documentaries, following people into, say, the outback, where I would go across the painted desert and shadow a paleontologist or shadow a geologist as they walked through these spaces and sort of articulated what it was they were doing, researching, looking for, and what their end goal was in this research. I learned a lot on my own by going off into some of the reservations, like the Hopi Reservation, Navajo Reservation, and becoming more conscious about the differences and similarities between Native American tribes, clans. I also did junior ranger programs on Saturday where I conducted classes for kids like painting in the painted desert or making some petroglyphs out of plaster castings, and where they would carve in the glyphs as the ancient Puebloans had done and left in the area. I probably learned more just by videotaping people and having them share all their knowledge in front of the camera.
That's the greatest impact I think that it's had on me. I mean, it's influenced my teaching, my curriculum, my motivation back in the classroom. It's helped knit a lot of the things that I've always done together in a way that's I find really, really exciting, and I'm hoping that my students do too.
Here at the Missouri National Recreational River, this has been a totally different experience, and I've loved it. You know, for each place that I go, I just love what I do. Here we have developed some programs for children through the summer reading programs with the libraries, or the recreation areas, boys and girls clubs, to educate them on the park, the Missouri National Recreational River. Because we don't have a lot of land with this park, a lot of people don't realize that we are a national park, just like the larger parks, the other parks that I've been to, as well as Yellowstone and Grand Canyon and such. So we have visited, prepared programs about the river, visited with these different schools and libraries and recreational areas, provided activities for the children, games, crafts, songs, all to get them engaged and to hopefully educate them on the river, and in turn trying to educate our youth the importance of these wonderful resources that we have.
For the experience of coming to the Missouri National Recreational River, it's been similar in that by having the opportunity to videotape different rangers and staff working in different aspects of the park, I've immediately started becoming familiar with what the park has to offer. I never really thought about a river being that in flux. I never thought about it changing so frequently that it takes on a different personality every year.
The students at my school, Schuyler Central High School, have welcomed the opportunities to learn about the national parks. And one of the activities that I found was the most exciting and I guess the most rewarding for me was to have them research a park. Each of them research a park. They then put together a presentation for the entire student body, which we presented during National Parks Week. Another group of students created a skit, and they performed that in front of the class, or in front of the student body. The chorus got involved, and they had the entire teachers, students in an assembly format singing "This Land Is Your Land." That the school, the administration, my fellow teachers, the community itself.
I've always had this new excitement for getting back to the classroom. I've been a teacher for 30-something years, and we have teacher in service, and we learn, different things that we need to approach our classroom and educate our children, engaging them. But there has not been anything that has been so exciting to me as far as my teacher in service as what I have learned being a teacher ranger teacher. So to incorporate some of the things I've learned in the classroom, you know, they think I'm the coolest teacher when I come back with, you know, these different, talking about, you know, the dinosaur coprolite, which is fossilized dinosaur dung, and the different cultural symbols that the ancient Indians would carve on petroglyphs and those kinds of things. But, you know, I'm so excited because I've been to those places. I've experienced those places. When I teach about the St. Lawrence River, now I've been to the St. Lawrence River. I've seen the big cargo ships come in with their freights, and as they exit to take their goods out through Hudson Bay and onto the Atlantic Ocean. Instead of just looking at that in the book and seeing the St. Lawrence River as a major transportation corridor, you know, now I can show my pictures of these ships going underneath these huge bridges, and, you know, it just puts a whole new excitement.
Regardless of our ethnic background as Americans, this is our inheritance as a citizen. Knowing that this is part of our heritage and we are the stewards of this, the Teacher Ranger Teacher program offers you a direct way to participate in that stewardship.
What I've been able to do shows my students that sometimes you can try new things, something that's really out of your realm of comfort, and just to explore and to do something that is unique.
It does create good opportunities for you to go back to your classroom and tell students things that, you know, is more alive to you because you've experienced these things. I live in an area where there are not a lot of national parks, and I want my students to have that opportunity to visit them. If not now, you know, they can visit them in our classroom.
The highlight of my experience as a TRT is working with other teachers from other states for the national parks, knowing that we're all working for a similar cause, but with specific and different challenges in our regions.
Big and mighty, we're a river flowing big and mighty. Big and mighty, we're a river flowing big and mighty. Okay, you know what you're going to do next?